Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dhruti Yatri, and you're watching Skyline. So every year, thousands of Indians they leave home with just one dream: a better life abroad. Some move to the United States for high-paying tech jobs. Some go to Canada, hoping to become permanent residents. Others choose the United Kingdom or maybe Australia for better opportunity. But today, that dream is changing. Governments are changing immigration rules. Companies are laying off employees. Visa rules are becoming stricter. Green cards are getting delayed. Permanent residency is becoming harder than ever before. And many Indians living abroad, they are asking one simple question: what should I do now? Because today, one email from your employer, one government policy, or one immigration rule, it can completely change your future overnight. So in today's Skyline, we are breaking down 8 major immigration updates that every Indian living abroad must know. We will explain in very simple terms without complicated legal terms, so you exactly know what these changes mean for you. So let's begin with the United States first, where thousands of H-1B professionals may be making one dangerous mistake after losing their jobs. Can you imagine this? You wake up on a Monday morning, open your office laptop, and suddenly receive an email from HR. Your position has been eliminated. Within minutes, your meeting disappears, your company access is blocked, and your career it changes forever. Unfortunately, this isn't just a story anymore. Across Silicon Valley, Seattle, New York, and other technology hubs, thousands of professionals are losing their jobs because companies are cutting costs and reconstructing their businesses. Well, for American citizens, losing a job is stressful. But for an H-1B visa holder, it is much more serious. Because losing your job, it does not just affect your salary. It can affect your legal rights to stay inside the US. In fact, according to the current USCIS regulations, H-1B workers generally receive grace period of up to 60 days after losing their job, until their I-94 expires, whichever comes first. Now here's where many people make a costly mistake. Many employees think that my company is giving me 2 months of severance, so I still have 2 months before I need to worry. But you know what? That is not necessarily true. The important date is usually your last active working day, not the day your severance money arrives, not the day your final salary reaches your account. If your employment officially ends today, your immigration countdown it may begin immediately after that. And next 60 days can disappear much faster than most of the people do realize. Well, you will spend the first few days updating your resume. Then you will start applying for jobs. In fact, some companies take weeks just to schedule the interview. Others conduct 4 to 5 interview rounds. Salary negotiations take more time. Offer letters get delayed. Before you know it, 1 month is already gone. So, what should you do? Well, here immigration experts say that don't waste even a single day. If another employer files a new H-1B petition before your grace period ends, portability rule, it may allow you to begin working for a new employer without waiting for final approval, provided the legal requirements are met. And you know what? If you still don't have a job near the end of your grace period, well, there are legal options that may help you remain in lawful status, including applying to change another eligible visa category before the grace period expires. And yes, there is another piece of good news here. If your I-190 green card petition has already been approved for the required period under the USCIS rule, you may be able to retain your priority date even after changing employer. That means years of waiting, it may not be lost. So what's the biggest lesson here? Never rely only on what HR tells you. Read your documents carefully, understand your immigration status, because one small misunderstanding, it can completely change your future in America. But yes, while many Indians are worried about keeping their H-1B jobs, something much bigger is happening inside the United States Senate. And it could completely change the future of highly skilled immigrants, specifically Indians. For years, one sentence has frustrated thousands of Indian professionals. Please wait. Wait for your H-1B lottery. Wait for your PERN approval, wait for your green card, wait and keep waiting. For many Indians, that wait has stretched into decades. Some have spent maybe most of their career waiting for permanent residency. Some children have even grown into adults while their parents they remain stuck in the immigration system. But now, a new approval in the US Senate is giving many skilled professionals fresh hope. Well, a bipartisan bill called the Keep STEM Talent Act proposes easier pathway to permanent residency for certain advanced STEM graduates from the US universities who kind of meet the eligibility requirement here. Now, let me simplify that. What that really means here. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These are the sectors where America says that it needs more skilled workers. Artificial intelligence, semiconductors, cybersecurity, robotics, data science, healthcare technology. These industries are growing rapidly, and America does not want to lose talented graduates after educating them. Under the proposal, qualifying graduates with advanced STEM degrees and relevant job offers could become eligible for a faster green card pathway outside the normal employment-based numerical cap if the bill becomes a law. But you know what? Before anyone celebrates, remember one point. Remember one word here. Proposed. This is not a law yet. The bill still has to move through the legislative process. That means nothing changes immediately. The proposal also includes conditions. Employer would still need to meet the wage and recruitment requirement, and applicants, they must undergo security screening. Still, you know what? This whole proposal sends an important message. America is beginning to realize that global talent do matter. Countries around the globe are competing for skilled professionals. If highly educated workers leave, innovation leaves with them. And that is why immigration policy is slowly becoming part of economic policy. For thousands of Indian engineers, researchers, software developers, and scientists, this one bill they will be watching very, very closely. And yes, while America is thinking about attracting more skilled workers, Canada is moving in a very different direction. And for many temporary residents, the competition has become tougher than ever before. For years, thousands of Indians believed just one thing: study in Canada, find a job, build your CRS score, get permanent residency. It looked like a perfect roadmap. But today, that roadmap has changed, and many temporary residents are now discovering that getting Canadian PR is much harder than it was just a few years ago. Canada has reconstructed its express entry system, placing greater emphasis on categories based selection and targeted occupation, while competition in general draws that remains high. Wait, let's understand what this really means. Earlier, many applicants focused mainly on increasing their CRS score. Today, that alone, it may not be enough. Canada is giving priority to specific sectors such as healthcare, STEM occupation, skilled trades, in fact, transport, and French language proficiency under this category-based selection approach. There is another challenge here. Millions of temporary residents are competing for a limited number of permanent residency invitation. So that means competition has become much more tougher. Applicants whose profiles don't really match priority category may have to wait much longer for the invitation. The government has also changed the value of some arranged employment points and provisional nomination that have become more targeted towards local labor shortage here. So wait, what's the message? Message is that don't assume that yesterday's immigration strategy will work tomorrow. Immigration policies do evolve. Countries change their priorities, and applicants need to adapt quickly. Well, for Indians studying or working in Canada, this is the time to understand the new rule. Review your option and plan early instead of waiting until your permit is close to expiring. We have covered the US and Canada. Let's move to the UK now. For years, thousands of Indians believed that getting a job in the UK was the hardest part of the journey. Once you had an offer letter, everything else, it would eventually fall into place. But today, That belief is changing. The UK government has tightened its skilled worker visa rule, making it much harder for foreign professionals to qualify. And this time, it's not just about getting a job. It's about whether your salary and your role it meet the government's new standards. Wait, let me simplify it for you. Imagine you finally receive a job offer from a British company. You celebrate, your family celebrates. You think your dream of working in London or maybe Manchester, it is about to begin. Well, then you discover that your salary it may not be enough, even though your employer is willing to hire you, and that's because the UK now looks at just two things. First, your salary must meet the general minimum threshold, and second, it must also match the official salary level set for your specific occupation. If your salary falls below either of these requirements, well, your application it could be refused. The government has also raised the skill requirement for many jobs though. Earlier, several mid-level occupations were eligible for sponsorship, but today, many of those roles it have been removed. Britain now wants to attract highly skilled professionals with degree level qualification and specialized expertise. Though there are still a few exceptions here. Young professionals, recent graduates, current STEM PhD holders may qualify under lower salary rule. But these concessions come with strict condition and they are available only for specific categories. In fact, the bigger message is very clear here. The UK is no longer inviting workers simply because there is a vacancy. It wants highly skilled professionals who can contribute to the economy and meet higher income level. So before accepting any job offer, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you do understand not just the salary printed on your contract, but also whether if it satisfied the latest immigration rule. And yes, while the UK is making visa rules tougher, another warning is coming from the United States. And this one has nothing to do with visas. It has everything to do with your money. That's right. Thousands of Indians working in America proudly file their US income tax return every year. They declare their salary, pay their taxes, and believe that everything is in order. But what if I told you that your biggest tax risk, it may not be in America at all? It could be sitting quietly in India, inside your bank accounts, your fixed deposit, or your mutual fund investment. Here, many NRIs have NRE accounts, NRO accounts, fixed deposit, and investment back home. Because some of these earnings enjoy tax benefits in India, many people assume that they don't need to mention them in the US. But the IRS follows a completely different system. If you qualify as a US tax resident, America generally taxes your worldwide income. That means income earned outside the US may also need to be reported under the US tax law. Well, there are also reporting rules that many people don't fully understand. If the total value of your foreign financial account crosses certain legal threshold, you may have to file additional reports such as FBAR and FATCA. These are the disclosures. These are separate from your normal tax return though, and failing to file them can lead to serious financial penalties. In fact, another area that surprises many NRIs is Indian mutual fund. Under US tax rule, these investments can be treated very differently from investment inside America, often requiring additional reporting and creating more complex tax calculation here. Well, the important message is very simple. If you are earning, saving, or investing in both India and the US, don't assume the tax rules are the same. Before filing your return, understand your reporting responsibilities very carefully because when it comes to taxes, even an honest mistake, it can become an expensive one. And yes, while America is asking NRIs to pay closer attention to their taxes, Australia is sending completely different message. The country still wants skilled migrants, but only under new conditions. Australia has always been one of the favorite destinations for Indians looking for a better career and better quality of life. Every year, thousands of students, IT professionals, engineers, and healthcare workers move there with one goal: permanent residency. But today, Australia is changing the way it selects the future migrants. Well, at first glance, the whole number it looks positive. Australia continues to offer a large number of permanent residency places every single year. But the real story is hidden behind those numbers. The government is now giving much greater preferences to people who are already living and working inside Australia. In other words, if you are already contributing to the Australian economy and have an employer supporting you, your chances of securing the PR that becomes much stronger. Well, employer sponsored migration has now become one of Australia's biggest immigration pathway. The government wants businesses to play a large role in selecting skilled workers who can fill long-term labor shortage. And yes, this is specifically a good news for professionals who are working in sectors such as healthcare, information technology, software engineering, and clean energy, where Australia continues to face skill shortages. And at the very same time, some older pathways are becoming more competitive. Regional visa programs have been reduced, and international students are facing stricter rules regarding graduate visas and future migration options. Well, simply collecting points no longer enough for you. Today's immigration system rewards those who have the right skills, the right employer, and the right long-term plan. So, if you're planning to move to Australia or you're already living there, don't wait until your visa is about to expire. Speak to your employer, understand your options, and start planning early because in today's immigration system, preparation is becoming your biggest advantage. Let's move back to Canada now. For many Indians, buying a home abroad, it is not just about real estate. It's about success. It's about safety, security, stability. It's about financially being safe, stable, and saying that this is my home. Thousands of Indian families move to Canada with this dream. They study, they work hard, they save every dollar, hoping that one day they will have their own home in Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, or maybe another Canadian city. But today, that dream has become much more complicated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Canadian government says that it wants to make housing more affordable for its own people, its own citizens. And that's why it has placed strict restrictions on many foreign buyers. So today, having enough money, no longer enough. You also need to meet the government's legal condition before you can buy a home. Now, let's understand this in very simple terms. Imagine you are working in Canada for a couple of years. You have saved your money. You find your dream home. You speak to the bank. Everything looks perfect. But before you sign the papers, you discover that you may not even be legally allowed to buy that property because of your immigration status. Well, that's a reality many temporary residents are facing today. But wait, there are some exemptions here. Temporary foreign workers may be allowed to buy a home, but only after meeting strict conditions, including multiple years of Canadian tax filing. International students face even tougher rule here. They must prove years of physical presence, file taxes for several years, and even the value of the house they buy, it's capped. In expensive cities like Toronto and Vancouver, finding a suitable home within that limit extremely difficult. And here's the part many people don't even know. If somebody breaks these rules, the consequences could be serious. Authorities can impose financial penalties and court could even order the property to be sold. Even lawyers, mortgage brokers, and real estate agents, they can face penalties if they knowingly help somebody break these rules. Well, message from Canada is becoming very clear. Immigration rule, tax rule, and property law, they are now deeply connected. Before investing your life savings into a home, first make sure that you are eligible to buy one. One wrong decision today, it could become very expensive mistake tomorrow. And yes, while Canada is making harder for many temporary residents to buy a home, the UK is making another dream more difficult. The dream of taking your family with you. For every Indian moving abroad, the dream is rarely about moving alone. It's about building a better future with your family. Parents dream of giving their children a better education. Husband and wives dream of starting a new life together. But today, the UK government has changed the rule. And for many migrants, that dream has become much more harder to achieve. Can you imagine receiving your UK visa after months of waiting? You call your family with excitement. Somebody celebrates. You begin planning your new life in Britain. But then you discover that your husband, your wife, or even your children, they may not be allowed to move with you. Suddenly, what looked like a beginning of a new journey, it turns into one of the toughest decisions of your life. Well, the UK government has tightened its dependent visa rule as part of its effort to reduce migration. Earlier, many international students studying taught that master's program could bring their family. Today, those rules have changed. In most of the cases, only students pursuing postgraduate research programs such as PhD or those students under certain government-sponsored scholarship can bring their dependents. Students enrolled in regular taught master's program generally cannot sponsor their spouse or their children under the current rule. But yes, the changes don't end there. Skilled worker visa holders, they must also pay close attention to their visa and job category. The government has linked family sponsorship more closely to higher skilled occupation. Many medium skilled jobs that earlier allowed workers to bring their families, they no longer qualify under the updated immigration system. Even for people who still qualify, moving with family has become much more expensive. Visa fees has increased, health surcharge payment add thousands of pounds to the total cost. Families must also meet maintenance fund requirement before their application can be approved. In simple words, moving to Britain with your loved ones, it now requires much more planning, much more money, and much more preparation than ever before. So in the end, the message from UK government is clear. Immigration today is no longer only about getting a visa. It's also about your qualification, your job role, your salary, and your family's eligibility. So before making one of the biggest decisions of your life, understand every rule very carefully because one small misunderstanding can separate families, delay the dream, and completely change your future abroad. And with that, here we come to an end of tonight's Skyline edition. We covered the United States, Canada, Australia, and the UK. Different governments, different policies, but one common message. Immigration is changing faster than ever before. Countries are no longer competing only to attract the migrants. They are carefully choosing who can stay, who can work, who can buy property, who can bring their families, and who can eventually become a permanent resident. Well, I'm Dhriti Yatri, this is Skyline, and I'll see you in the next episode.